Yeah, I'm late. I'm super late. And I'm doing this late at night tonight. Having a little drinky poo while we record this episode. Man, and I've been on the seltzer game hard lately. It's just so refreshing. I'm an IPA guy at my core. Do the little long caro thing every now and then out here. Long drink for those Americans that don't know. Although, actually, my main homies, guy I've had on the podcast, who's co-founder of the RPS Rock Paper Scissors Brewery here in Kuopio, is coming out with a Loncero brand in the U.S. this summer. So for all my American homies, check that out. They're good people. They're worth supporting. I thought I saw him doing something on Instagram, like having a store or a pop-up or something in like SoCal, but I don't know. I'll talk to him about that, see if I can be an influencer or something for him. But these little seltzer daddies, they're nice. They're really nice. This is not from their brand. This is old Isalmi, Olvi, mango pineapple. Basically flavored alcoholic water is what seltzers are. So you get to hydrate and get drunk at the same time. It's fucking beautiful. But let's get into it. Yo, 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 welcome to Living for a Living. Episode 111. 111, angel numbers.
Living for a living, baby. How you doing?
I gotta get my beers ready because I'm gonna drink a little bit. I'm gonna go out after I record this one. I know, sorry I'm late. Like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff, please and thank you. I was a little bit sick this last week. I was kind of sick, as one out here in Finland might say. Posted it last week. Corona symptoms nowadays. I probably had corona. Judging by the symptoms as like thinking you're sick means you have COVID nowadays. So I probably had it. I probably had it already. I think when I was in Portugal I had it because I lost taste for like damn near 2 or 3 weeks. But I was just like smoking weed all day, every day. I've heard smokers get it much less and much less serious as well. So with that said, I've been smoking cigarettes because for health reasons, because I've heard it helps with COVID. But no, I don't know, man. I've been. How have I been? I don't know. I haven't felt like I had too much to say. Haven't felt like I wanted to say too much in combination with being a little sick and all that shit. But also just, I'll keep it real with you. Like, my soul is tired right now, bro. I think I'm definitely a little bit homesick. Haven't been back in the States in a minute. And just like, I'm just like, I don't know, it's not homesick. It's just like connection sick. I don't know. There's been some shit going on in my life that I like to keep it real on here and talk about some of the stuff that's going on in my life and what I'm thinking and, tell some truthful stories and all that. But some of the stuff, even though it has to do with my life, it's like other people's lives and other people's business that I haven't wanted to, I don't want to put other people's business out there. And so, but it's been affecting me in certain ways, from relationship, friendship, family, all of the above. And so maybe, I'm sure in a year or two from now, I'll tell a story about it. But in the current time and place, I just really haven't felt like it was my time and place to talk about it. So I've been just kind of off, man. Just to be honest, just little, I don't know. I wish I knew. I'm trying to figure it out. I had a good last weekend in Tahko, which is like the holiday place. There's no beaches, or there's no, there's no beaches, there's no ocean front, for people to have in Finland. So if you're ballin', then you go and have a spot at a ski resort. And I think Tahko is like the main ballin' spot to have that. I'm not exactly sure, but I was out there. It was a cool vibe, like just being out on the mountain and snowboarded a little bit. Although, dude, the ski lifts here, I wasn't ready for that. There was only like one real ski lift on the entire mountain. And so all the other ones are those like fucking T-bars. And I've never had to use that before. And so I'm telling my boy, I'm like, dude, how do I do this? And he's like, well, I'll go first. I'll show you. You just got to grab it and put it between your legs. And I'm like, all right. So I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done it before. I get up first thing. And I grew up snowboarding. Both my cousins are like ex-pros. When they were like 16, they both can shred. They're like the local legends at my hometown mountain. I grew up having to go with them. And one cousin, Rai, he was always super nice and would like wait for me and kind of try and teach me stuff. But the other cousin, Jay, who's also my homie, he was like, bro, if you can't keep up, then you're not, like, you're going to be by yourself. That's just how it goes. So I learned out of necessity. And then, yeah, actually the girl who had the condo, my mom still has a condo up at the pass. And the girl who had a place above us, who I like had a crush on growing up, kind of, she was also pro for a while. And then the family friend who had a spot down the hall was also hella good. So like, and they were all like 5, 6, 7 years older than me. So I grew up, anyway, I'm just bragging. I'm fucking good at snowboarding, okay? I am not fucking good at riding on the T-bars. So T-bar comes around and I like grab it, try and put it between my legs. And I don't know the pressure that it's going to take off with. I've never done it. And so I'm thinking it's going to kind of like yank me. So I'm like getting prepared, kind of almost got like my weight back. And then it doesn't do that. I don't know. Long story short, I fell on my fucking face within 2 minutes. No, not even. I mean, 2 minutes of being on the mountain. First chairlift, fell. They had to stop the fucking lift. So embarrassing. Literally the hardest fall of the day for me was first time riding that T-bar. I was so, but hey, you gotta laugh at yourself, right? So that was how it started. It's funny to me because like it's a different, I've realized this. Everything in Finland kind of revolves around drinking. Whether it be the mountain, whether it be holidays, whether it be anything. You know, it's Easter, religious holiday. Not any holiday is just a fucking excuse to drink in Finland, basically. Because there's parties going on the mountain. Because there's like multiple little bars, little cabin shack kind of things all throughout the mountain. They got more bars than real chairlifts, you know? And it's crazy to see dudes up there like in just Air Force Ones or Chelsea boots, obviously not snowboarding at all. And I was thinking to myself, how the fuck did these dudes even get up here? Like you couldn't have rode a real chairlift up. In the States it would have made sense because you could have just rode the chairlift up, hopped off, and then walked over to the bar. But you can't really ride a T-bar up without skis or a snowboard on. So I don't know if these motherfuckers hiked up there or what. But just dudes just drunk as fuck at 2, 3 in the afternoon on the mountain. It was fun though. It was a good vibe. And I'd forgotten about like the ski bunnies. You know, it was Easter. We had some Easter ski bunnies out there hiding some eggs. You know what I'm saying? And that was cool. That was fun. I like the Easter bunnies. Or I like the ski bunnies, I mean. It was like, yeah, I don't know. It was just overall different vibe than Kuopio, and then also a different vibe than my home ski resort too. So I don't know. Then we went out that night, and I went out with my buddy who I had just randomly met like 2 days before, friends of friends. He's like a manager at my favorite bar out here, ironically. And so we like knew each other but didn't know each other, and it all just kind of universally worked out for me to get out there. And so he knows people in the service industry and stuff, so we end up getting a little table at this spot, looking cool, and which was fun, don't get me wrong. But I'm not a VIP table kind of guy, really. Because if you're at a VIP table, you're only really with the people that you're with. And that's nice. I got to see some friends I hadn't seen in a while, just randomly, that I met up there. And it was nice talking with them. But I'm a man of the people. I want to be with the people. And so when you're like in this sectioned off table where the only other people are other VIP people, and no offense, but most people who pay for VIP tables think they're way too fucking cool. So that's not my jam at all. So I ended up just hanging out all night, smoking cigarettes for the most part, just because that's where the people were. DJ up there was playing the old classic hits, not really my jam. I'm just still waiting for someone to play some fucking thug shit up here, where I could like really get down. The best DJ was in Helsinki one random night on the rooftop. DJ Vicky, I think her name is, on Instagram. She was playing the jams. I need another one of those nights. But I will have to say, came through with probably the best wing woman I had ever met in my life. Started randomly talking to two chicks outside on the patio, and within like 5 minutes of the conversation, one of them was like, "Hey, my friend likes you. You should take her home." And I was like, "Oh, all right. I guess this is karma or payback for all the cock-blocking bitches that are out there, man." Because that's normally the friend that you run into. Is like, you got a little game going on, and then the ugly friend is like, "No, we're having a girls' night. We're staying inside. No, it's just us tonight. No, Cynthia, come on." And anyway, it was the opposite of that, so no complaints there. What else? What else happened? There were like some funny little interactions that night too. Got the TikTok recognition a couple times. The funniest thing of the day in Tahko though was we went and ordered food at Hesburger, like McDonald's here in Finland. And the dude taking my order did not speak very good English at all. Like, at all. He was struggling to ask if I wanted to drink, if I wanted to make a menu, like really struggling with it. Which is alright, it's whatever. But then I said, "Well, can I get some onion rings?" Because they had a special little onion rings and a dip for €1 or €2 or something. So I said, "Could I get some onion rings?" You know, and like he didn't even understand what the fuck I was saying there. So I say that though, and then after that he goes, "Oh, so you're the Lord of the onion rings." And I was like, "What?" Because I mean, I think this dude's still struggling to figure out if I want a meal or not. He's like, "The Lord of the onion rings." I'm like, "Huh?" And then he like kind of like, because he's finished, so he's like saying this all just completely straight-faced, no smile at all. And I'm like, "What? Lord of the onion rings?" And then he like kind of cracks a smile. And I was like, "Oh, this fucking guy is making a joke right now." And for whatever reason, I thought he was talking about Lord of the Flies. That's where Lord of the whatever went into my mind, was Lord of the Flies. And then So I was like, damn, this is a really shitty joke. But I'll kind of laugh at it, you know, just to like, I could tell, like, obviously this dude had been waiting to use this joke. And maybe he uses it in Finnish and maybe it translates better. But he was waiting to use this joke. And I was the victim. But then I realized, oh, Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Onion Rings, like, it's still a shitty joke. But the fact that he attempted it amongst the fact that he couldn't speak English very well kind of made my day. And so then it, even though it wasn't very funny, it was still pretty fucking funny just given the context. And he was happy that I thought it was funny. And then once we got our food and we left, I pointed at him. I said, Lord of the Onion Rings. We shared a nice little laugh to leave the day, leave the restaurant. But that was so fucking random. What else? Had one other dude recognize. The next morning, we're like getting ready to leave, packing up the car. I'm taking out the trash. There's like 3 other people outside their car, and I walk by them, and this one dude just like stares at me as I walk by, just literally like. And I just thought he was still super fucked up, which, I mean, he might have been. And I was like, what's up, bro? You know, like, you are looking at me crazy. He's like, you're the guy from TikTok. I was like, yeah. Oh my God. And he was too fucking excited. It was cool, don't get me wrong. Ended up talking with him. His friend, some girl, knew more about the Finnish football league than I do, which was kind of cool. She was like, yeah, isn't there a Helsinki 69ers team? I was like, I have no idea. That's not the 69er team I'm a part of. You feel me? Sorry, Mom. But yeah, that dude was cool. He was Eitu. I remember your name, bro. And then he's like, yeah, this is the highlight of the weekend. And I'm like, bro, if meeting me on Sunday morning is the highlight of the weekend, then your weekend fucking sucked. He's like, no, dude, I'm a huge fan, big fan. I watch all your videos, blah, blah, blah. Guess who followed me on Wednesday after that? Yeah, that guy. So again, the biggest fan, not even following your boy. And that happens all the time, actually. I don't know what little pride motherfuckers got going on about following people on TikTok. I know I show up on the For You page and all that stuff here in Finland, but the amount of people be like, oh yeah, I love your videos, I watch all of them, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, wait, what's the name? And I'll type in the name, and I see that they're not even following me. I'm like, so are you just lying right now? What? What's the fucking deal? But yeah, that was the weekend in Tahko. Quick little 24-hour trip, and yeah, I gotta give a shout out real quick to my boy Billy Mitchell, and shout out to everybody who listened, because it's weird, man. I don't think like there's like a weird mental thing I always have with this podcast where obviously I think it's good if I've done 111 episodes or whatever. Obviously there's some pride in it and some confidence in it and stuff like that. But then also on the flip side, I'm always like, who the fuck listens to this? And I almost like, it's just the self-consciousness in me. I'm like, why do people care about me? You know, I think it's some like internal shit that I got to deal with and figure out on my own about like people caring and caring about people and all that kind of stuff. But it's always crazy to me when I'll get a random message from a homie that I've known from a long time ago, like whether it be Issaquah or whether it be DVC, North Dakota. My shout out Chris Hall, Tony Montana, my guy. Like, I'll get a random message every now and then from someone who I just had assumed is not listening and not watching, and like, for better or worse, no credit or fault to the person, has forgotten about me and doesn't think about me ever again, you know? Just for whatever little internal thing I got going on. But my guy, Billy Mitchell, hit me up. What did he say? He hit me up on Instagram. Oh yeah, and I gotta make that into a clip. Oh yeah, that's the whole point of me saying all this. Is please comment whatever your favorite little phrase is, or little joke, or little one-liner from the episode is, because that would help me a lot in terms of making clips. I kind of always know what ones to do regarding Finland and shit like that, but the ones, sometimes I think some shit's funny, and no one else really thinks it's funny, but then I guess Clayton the other week was like, bro, when you said the youth still fucks with me, I was dying. And I was like, yeah, I knew that one was pretty good. But no, Billy, he just randomly messaged me out of the blue and says, you kind of gotta like pussy if you've had 10 kids. And because I was talking about Caitlyn Jenner last week, and I was like, damn, that actually is a really good line or clip or something. And honestly, some of the shit I say is probably regurgitated from some other podcast I've watched that I'd make it into my own. I haven't heard it. That was a totally original thought, as original as can be. But no, shout out to my guy, Billy Mitch. He was the other fellow token white guy at DBC. Another guy that was out of area. So for those that don't know, the Cali JUCO system, it's mainly all Cali dudes in the league, because it's basically free for them to play. I think it's $20 a unit. But then you get the occasional out-of-area guy, out-of-state guy, because it's that cheap for only California residents. And so Billy grew up and went to high school in my same conference. We didn't know each other in high school. Maybe we kind of did. I don't even remember, to be honest, B-Mitch. Sorry. I know Bennett coached for you guys for a year, so we had that little connection. But anyway, B-Mitch was the token white dude that he could dance, bro. And he didn't ever pull any bitches. I didn't either, because we were both too big of pussies really to do it. But Billy, if he wasn't such a pussy when he was 19 and 20, he could have pulled so many bitches, especially black bitches. His game was so good. He was funny, and he could dance, charismatic, and he always had all the, oh Billy, oh shit, oh Billy. And yeah, no, that was I always tell people on my JUCO team, I was one of probably 10 white dudes on the team. And if you would have came over to my house after practice to smoke blunts, which pretty much every day, it would have been just me, my Asian roommate, Big E, and then just all black dudes. And then occasionally B-Mitch would also be there. And the story, my favorite story about B-Mitch, Billy, when was this? So this would have been after Christmas. I don't, the time frame of it isn't exactly crystal clear of it, but Billy, Shane, and I think Willie, no, it wasn't Willie D. Willie D was gone. Billy, Shane, and somebody else had their own apartment. And so they all lived, but their lease ran up, and all of them were they were all done playing, but maybe still had to go to a little bit more school. I forget the exact thing. They had one more semester. I don't exactly remember. And so anyway, they asked, hey, can we stay at your place until we get our new place? And I think it was right before Christmas break or right after Christmas break. Again, timing, sorry, that's an unimportant part of the story. I'm just remembering it for selfish reasons. So yeah, sure, you guys can stay with us. It doesn't really matter. We already have 3 people living in a 1-bedroom, but why not make it 6 people living in a 1-bedroom? C-Mop was probably the other guy. Another Seattle boy. So yeah, they all moved in with us. And it was supposed to be for like a week until they got their own spot. But these motherfuckers were just content with living like absolute slobs. I mean, I lived like a slob too, but they were just content with just saying, fuck it, living 6 people into an apartment and not paying rent. And so I had the bedroom. Biggie had an office that was, it had like those little like closet doors kind of, that like fold to open. So like he didn't really have door. Like I had an actual door to shut to my room. Biggie didn't really have that, but he kind of had it. And then Lil Moss slept on the couch. I love how everybody has nicknames too. I was J Brad. We had Biggie, B Mitch, Lil Moss. I guess Shane was just Shane. C Mott. Easiest nickname to do is just the first initial and then first syllable of the last name. J Brad, B Mitch, C Mott. Moss, that was his last name. He was a little guy. Lil Moss. Big E. Big E's. Alright, I'm just telling JUCO stories, I guess, this episode. Big E's nickname came... Big E was from Hawaii. The most, unassuming, innocent Asian dude ever. One of the nicest dudes ever. He actually is going to have a, bachelor party or something in Seattle. I'm not going to be there because it's going to be in the summer, but Big E came and visited me in Portugal. We've remained homies throughout the years. This shit happened 12 years ago. But Big E, his name is Justin Oroguru. There's no E. He wasn't big. His nickname made no fucking sense, basically. But the story of Big E was when he first moved out there. I hadn't arrived yet, so he was just sleeping on the couch of a different teammates. It was I think they had 6 people living in a 3 or 4 bedroom. So if you haven't noticed, the theme of JUCO is just fucked up living situations. But you're 18, 19, 20, it's fun, even though I hated B Mitch, Shane, and C Mott for living with us for 3 or 4 weeks, because I'm going to eventually get back to this story and how I finally got them to fucking leave. But it was fun. And so I was the old guy the other week. I had one of my teammates here in Finland is an American dude who's just going to school here in Kuopio. He's half Finnish, but he's full American. And I was like, dude, just totally being the old fucking guy. I was like, bro, just live like shit right now while you still want to. Go travel, go do all that stuff, live with 7 people in a 2-bedroom apartment, do all that stuff right now, because I'm telling you, you'll get to a certain point where you don't want to do that shit. I'm looking up to stay in Helsinki for another weekend. Bro, I'm not looking up hostels. I might do it if I can't find, but I'm looking at the private rooms in hostels. Because the hostel room, maybe if it's a 4-bed hostel room, I could do it. But I'm not trying to fucking be with 10 other motherfuckers. But yeah, where was? Oh yeah, Big E story, and then I'll get back to the B Mitch story. So Big E was sleeping on the couch of these one dude's house. Naeem, Marcus, Dom, Frankie. Oh, and the Florida boys, DJ and Waddy. Although I think DJ and Waddy slept on our floor for at least a couple weeks. I mean, we were always smoking blunts at my house too, so a lot of people would just get so fucking high that they'd pass out for the night and then just wake up, in the morning and then go to school or something. But so Big E was staying at these other guys' house, and their spot was kind of the party spot. I guess my spot kind of became the party spot. All the out-of-area guys' spots became the party spots. And so they were having a party one night. They're inviting bitches, all this stuff. And some girl had told one of the guys that, like, oh, your Big E's having the party at your house tonight. And they're like, what? No. Like, who the fuck is Big E? She's like, no, this is Marcus, Naeem, blah, blah, blah. She's like, yeah. We heard from Big E that his party, he's having the party at your place. And they're like, who the fuck is Big E? Like, some dude is telling girls that to come have a party at our place and we don't even know this guy? And they just couldn't figure out, like, who, and they're just asking, who the fuck is Big E? And meanwhile, Justin, he's still Justin at this point in the story, he's just sitting over on the corner in the couch, not saying shit. He hardly ever talked, really. And they're like, yo, that's Big E. He's inviting all these girls to come here. Which he definitely was not, because I don't think at that point Big E had talked to a girl in his life. That's crazy. Big E's about to get married. What the fuck? Times are a-changing, man. Times are a-changing. Congrats, Big E. Miss you, bro. Love you. So that's how Big E got his name. Was just a random dude said he was having parties at some guy's house, and then it stuck. And so from then on, everyone in that house called him Big E. And then the whole team called him Big E. Coaches called him Big E. There was one time one of the coaches got pissed at him and was like, fucking Eric, get over here. And like, he didn't listen because his name wasn't Eric. And he's like, Eric. We're like, Coach, who the fuck are you talking to? It's like, Big E. What's his name? Like, no one knew his name. It's like, yeah, his name's not Eric. His name's Justin. He's like, why the fuck do you guys call him Big E? So yeah, that's how you got nicknames. And like, it was weird for me in those 2 years for someone to call me Joey. Like, only like the girl that I dated would call me Joey, honestly. But even then, if she was talking to other people about me on the team, because I dated the trainer, she would have said J-Brad. So yeah, that was a weird time. But so yeah, that's how Big E got his name. Now back to B Mitch and all those dudes. So how it went was I had my own room. I had a couch in my room. So B Mitch kind of had the VIP treatment of the homeless guys. He was sleeping on the couch in my room. And mind you, all three of them have all of their shit in our house. So we got little Tupperware boxes stacked yay high. I got B Mitch's entire fucking closet on my floor. We got shit everywhere. And so B Mitch is on the couch. I think, I don't even remember how it went. There was like an air mattress in Big E's room that either Shane or C-Mott slept on. And then I think we had like a second couch, or someone just slept on the floor. I didn't care. I shut the door, and that was how it went. And so anyway, these motherfuckers would not move out. Like, would not move out. We kept saying like, okay, like, guys, like, you guys, they weren't even looking for apartments either. Like I said, these dirty motherfuckers, B Mitch, especially you, were just content with living like, I don't even know what, like immigrants, basically. That's how we were, immigrant living. You weren't paying anything, I get it. And I had all the weed, so it was like a good deal for you to just hang around. Like, of all houses to just be homeless in, that was the spot to be homeless. I get it. And so anyway, These motherfuckers not even looking for a house after like 2 weeks of moving back after a break. And then finally we're like, yo, like you guys need to find a new spot. And by we, I mean me. Because Lil Moss and Big E were fucking bitches in this whole thing. And anytime Shane would always try and pull some like reverse psychology, passive aggressive victimhood shit of like, well, you guys don't mind if we live here, right? Like, you know, we would do it for you, and it's like it's not that big, and we're not even here for most of the time, and like I said, they were bitches enough to be like, yeah, we don't care, yeah, it's okay. And then meanwhile, as soon as all of them would be gone, and it would just be me, Biggie, and Lil Moss in the crib, they'd all look at me and say, you got to get them the fuck out of here. But then to their face, they wouldn't say shit. And so I had to be the bad guy. And I'd be like, all right, guys, like, you looking for an apartment? Yeah, we are. They're looking for an apartment for a week or two. Who knows? And it's like getting to the point where we are sick of these motherfuckers. And just like, you know, you live in that close of quarters with somebody for that long, your patience gets tested. I know this was after Christmas break, though. Yeah. Because the reason I know that is B. Mitch had just gotten a pair of red Vans for Christmas. And he was obsessed and loved these things. And so he would always like show them off and talk about them and this and that. And so it came like one night where it was like, I was sick of it. Lil Moss and Biggie had just told me like an hour before they all got back home, they're like, yo, we got to get him out of here. And so I tell them like, yo, you guys have until the end of the week. And it's probably like a Tuesday. Mind you, we've told them this like for 3 or 4 weeks now. Maybe not that long, I don't know. Something better for the story. And old Billy was like, yeah, you guys got to get out of here. Because Billy was cool with sleeping on my couch. Fucking bitch. And and I go, no, motherfucker, you too. Because I was honestly most mad at Billy because he was in my room, taking up my space. I probably wouldn't have been as mad or minded it as much if like I could have just closed my door and been by myself. But I had a motherfucker sleeping 3 feet from me, and it's Billy of all people. And I was like, no, bitch, you especially got to move out. He's like, no, I don't. And for whatever reason, I got mad. Billy, you got to message me and tell me if I'm telling this story right or not. I got mad as fuck at that. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I grabbed the red van, opened the door. There was kind of like a little bit of like a skirmish at the door or something. I think he kind of closed it. I kind of had to open it, push him out of the way. I don't exactly remember. Yeah, I fucking threw him out of the way. Opened the door and just hucked the red van out the door onto the street. And that was how they all knew I was serious. And then it was like kind of awkward for a while. And then I think like they left that night, and Shane, and okay, again, mind you also, we had a Brazilian dude on the team, Aaron, who I think when I go play in Brazil, hopefully I'll get to meet up with him. He's like Brazilian legend over there. He was living by himself. We had other dudes on the team who had an open room, but we lived right across the street from the school. So and had all the weed. So in terms of getting to and from school and getting high after school, my place was the place to be. So they had places to go, is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, they like leave that night because they're all like, now they're playing the victim. Like I was the asshole for kicking them out. And they said, well, Big E and Lil Moss don't mind. They've said it's cool. I said, yeah. But as soon as you fuckers leave, they tell me to kick you out. And so it was like a little bit of, you know, a 19-year-old confrontation, which is a lot of like angst and yelling basically. And so they leave, and then Shane, and maybe Billy too, try and like make us feel bad. And was like, yeah, we didn't stay anywhere that night. Like tried to make it seem like they slept in the car or something. Meanwhile, those motherfuckers were at Brazil's house. So, shout out to Billy. The reason, I probably should have said this before the story, but the reason that I wanted to tell that story was honestly, Billy, your message like made my fucking day. And hearing from old homies that you've kind of been through the shit with in one way or another is like I said, bro, I told you in the message, but that shit made my day. And it just kind of like changed my perception a little bit of how I think, because I've always been a guy to like reach out randomly and kind of probably keep conversations going or keep connections going that like really shouldn't be there, or like I'll be the one that puts in all the effort. I've felt like this in the past of different connections and friendships. And lately I really haven't done that. And I used to always be the first person to like send a random message of like appreciation or, yo, I fuck with this, or, you know, I hope you're doing well, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. And I low-key have kind of like gone away. Little technical difficulties. I'd forgotten to wipe the memory card of the camera. So sorry for those last 2 minutes of having no video. I was getting real heartfelt. So you just got to trust my voice. But hey, speaking of, spoke a lot about smoking on this episode. I know I'm a week late. I meant to talk about this like on probably the day that it happened, because I'm a little late on recording. Sorry. But it was 420 last week. And dude, I don't really smoke anymore unless you got a joint. But which kind of true. Yeah, it's like when I first moved to Finland last year, it was like this one chick came over to have a couple beers, and I was like, yeah, I don't really smoke anymore. I was like, but I mean, if you said you had a joint right now, I'd probably smoke. And she was like, what? Well, I have a joint. I was like, word. But anyway, it's just smoking isn't that much fun anymore. From age 15, 16 to 27, 28, 29, I got my fair share of it. But 420 came up, and I just like made me think about all of the smoking days, the stoner days of like 420. Like it was some special day or like some different day. You know, I think now in my adult, quote unquote, adult life, like, yeah, maybe if I was going to smoke one day and like plan it, I basically just don't want to buy weed ever. And it's not that much fun for me. I just become a recluse that just stays in the house all day, and I get depressed, and I'd rather spend my money on other stuff, basically. But if I was gonna just like pick one random day, like maybe I would pick 420 out of the whole stoner holiday thing, although it doesn't make any real sense. But it's just funny to think that back when I was smoking like every day, and sometimes all day, every day, it was like 420 came about, and it was like, yeah, this is a different day. Like, we're gonna really smoke today. It's like, when I was at DVC in these times of the stories I was just telling, we used to go to the 7-Eleven every night, and get a 5-pack of Swishers. And I remember for the longest time, my local 7-Eleven had a deal of a 2-for-1 pack of Swisher Minis. Like, I knew I was on first name basis with the guy at 7-Eleven. I'd get these little Sourhead gummy gusher kind of thingies, and like 2 Gatorades. You could get the 2 Gatorades for $3. and then a pack of Swishers, literally every night. I mean, that's how much we were smoking. And so it was just funny to think like, oh yeah, we're going to roll like a double blunt because it's 420. Like, or just the idea that if it was like 4:15 or something, you'd be like, oh, someone would be like, wait until it's 4:20 to spark up the blunt. It's like, and we would. It's like, well, what the fuck does it matter, dude? Like, yeah, at 4:20, bro, that's the time to do it. It's like, huh. But yeah, I hope if you're listening to this and you partake in that kind of stuff, I hope you put a little extra one in there for your boy, because I haven't been celebrating the last, I don't know how long. But I will admit, I'm low-key looking forward to going home back to Seattle, and like the first weekend, or maybe not the first weekend, but at some point just getting into like old stoner fucking mode and just blazing it up for a weekend and just being a piece of shit for a couple days. Or even just like going on a hike, going snowboarding. So, it's the little things. It's the little things in life. It's like this, probably, I alluded to it in the beginning of some of the shit that I've kind of going through, that it's like I don't want to talk about, to be honest. Like in old days, that's probably honestly why I drink way more than I do nowadays. Because I've never been a huge drinker, but it's like you kind of got to have some kind of crutch, some kind of vice. I think on an old, like 7 years ago episode of HBO, what's the training camp show called? Showtime? No. Playmakers? No. Hard Knocks. One of the like gangster ass coaches was like, never trust a man without a vice. That's a fucking serial killer. It's like, if you're just like good with life, I respect it. I envy it a little bit, but also I think you're fucking lying. Like, even if you say you don't like cream soda or Coca-Cola or M&Ms, like we all got that one little guilty pleasure. And so I've kind of traded in a little bit, like, I mean, obviously, I don't drink as much as I used to smoke weed at all. That would be pretty much fucking impossible. But similar. I mean, I guess I smoke cigarettes now, so kind of similar. I don't know where the fuck I'm going with this. My boy Cody, who's a linebacker on our team, is about to come over. And I told him if he got here around 10 that he could get a feature spot on the podcast. So Cody might just show up and we'll get him in there. I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I don't really have too much more to talk about, to be honest. Had fucking Tahko written down. Had the story about B. Mitch, which turned into like 4 different stories. 420. Oh, I do. Well, I almost want to wait for. I don't know. Maybe he'll show up as I'm talking about this. But like. Oh, the one thing though that I noticed, because I was bitching about it, or kind of complaining about it last week, is that how, even in stores here, even though the government hasn't required anyone to ever do it, they've only recommended the whole mask thing. There's still people in a lot of stores that, whether it be grocery stores, whether it be whatever, will still be wearing masks. Today, while I went and got beer, the lady wasn't wearing a mask at the store. And that made me just feel so good, like getting to see her smile. And that's the other thing I've realized. I play this game with myself where I try to get and buy beer as close to 9 o'clock as humanly possible. I'll be sitting at home and I'll be like 8:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30. And I'm like, okay, I gotta leave soon. And then it gets like 8:40. I'm like, oh shit, I really gotta leave. Because I know, okay, I live about 7 or 8 minutes from a K-Market. And then, you know, if I'm going to take a little bit of time to see what my selection is, I got to get in there. And so the amount of times I've walked into Alco at 8:59 because there's a clock right outside of it. And I'm like, I'm good, right? And they're like, yeah, fucking alcoholic, you're good. Like, as long as you're in the store before 9, you're all right. So that's a little game I like to play with myself. I think that lets you know just how exciting life here in Finland is. But yeah, it was nice to see Lady's face at the store. Just felt good. Oh, Cody's here.
Here's a mixture for you.
What's this?
It's Jaeger, apple juice, Sprite, and Monster.
All right. Well, I test this. Tell them who you are.
Hi, I'm Cody Leonard. I'm from Southern Illinois.
You don't have to do super Steelers politically correct.
Okay.
Like this is the
All
people.
right. All right. I'm from Southern Illinois. I moved here March 4th. I've been here. Joe was actually the first American guy I met here in Kuopio. So, yeah, big fan of the podcast. Happy to be a guest star.
What the hell is this?
Is it pretty good?
I don't know.
Okay, so mostly apple juice, some Monster,
Okay.
a lot of Jaeger, and then a little bit of Sprite.
Whoa. All
I
right.
was trying to, mix it up.
Okay. I like it. Yeah, it's not bad. I've been mixing it up with the seltzers lately because
No, those are good. What was the one you had last 2 weeks ago before you were sick? 'Cause those were good.
I don't know. I forget.
They were like 6% and they were.
Oh, those are the long drinks.
Those long
strong
drinks were
ones,
good.
Yeah. Mm.
That's the thing about Finland. They don't fuck around with their drinks.
Yeah. All right. So wait, how long you been here now? What, 2 months now, or almost?
A little bit over 2 months, almost 2 months.
Okay.
It'll be 2 months, May 4th. So.
Damn, dude. And Cody and I'm very grateful for you because you're a true partner in crime and make me feel like not such a degenerate when I want to go out on a Wednesday or a weekday.
So I grew up in a small southern fucking country town in Southern Illinois.
First plane ride ever.
First plane ride
out of the country.
was out of the country. Yeah, first time being in an airport was coming here to Finland.
Damn.
I grew up where if you're bored, you go to the bar, you play some pool, you throw some darts, and that's it. You drink some beer. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. If you had a hard day at work, you crack open a fucking 30-pack with your boys, and then that's all you do. So
what's your local bar called?
Local, we got a couple. We got.
Like, where are we going? If
We got Gettin's Oasis.
Gettin's
Oasis.
Gettin's Oasis.
Okay, before I get into anything, I'm going to tell you the main gas station in my town is called Bucks Crossing.
Dude, this sounds like a movie, but okay.
Camo fucking sign.
Of course it does.
First thing you come into town, it's 20. Okay, so I live on the intersection of 2 major highways in Southern Illinois. So we have 4 24-hour gas stations. We have a Shell, we have a Motomart, we have a Casey's, and then we have a Bucks Crossing, which is a Casey's turned into someone bought it and just hometown stuff. Bucks Crossing is the way to go. 24-hour pizza. You get real drunk with your boys. 3 in the morning. I would go at 4 o'clock in the morning, order a pizza, and the guy that was working at the gas station would say, "You guys want to smoke a joint?"
Yes.
And we'd say, "Well, fuck yeah, we do." We'd go outside and we'd smoke a joint with them right outside the gas station. Bucks Crossing, Carrollton, Illinois.
Oh.
If you're ever in Carrollton.
And were there fights outside, like planned fights, or was that an outside of McDonald's thing, or?
That's the thing about Carrollton, Illinois. We were so small that we had a Subway and we had a Dairy Queen, and that was it.
No McDonald's.
McDonald's, thing is, if you were real hungry and you wanted a deal, you'd go to McDonald's in the next town over, which is about 30-minute drive north.
Oh my God.
And you'd go there and you get the dollar menu. That's where the Taco John's or the Taco Bell was. That's where the Hardee's was, and that's where the Jerseyville fucking McDonald's was. So,
Oh my God. Okay. That's. I feel like that's a good like.
Carrollton, Illinois, 3 bars, 4 churches, and 4 24-hour gas stations. That's how we.
Oh yeah.
we make
Okay.
our money.
So what were the other bars? Or I feel like
the Levy.
The Levy. Okay.
We got the Levy, John Slots, the Grain Bin.
The grain.
And then Get's Oasis.
So what would be the occasion for you to go to a specific one? What was like
Grain Bin's the way to go.
The Grain Bin.
So the Grain Bin used to be the biggest hole in the wall bar in Illinois called John's Tavern. And then
one pool table, 2 pool tables.
2 pool tables.
Okay.
The shittiest pool tables in the nation.
Of course.
But biker bar. But then it got a better management. It became the Grain Bin. Now it's the spot. It's the spot. If you're ever in Carrollton, Illinois, that's where everybody is at.
Okay.
Before that was Gettin's Oasis. So there was a guy named John Gettin. He owned it in high school. He was so into Carrollton high school sports. If you were like a baller, so if you were like a good basketball player, a good football player, anything, you could go to that bar after a game and he would serve you at like 18, 17 years old, and he would be the one to personally hand you a beer.
Owner of the beer?
Like I was on his summer league sand volleyball team, and he came out with fucking a plate, like 2 plates, 2 trays. One had all Jaeger shots, and the other had all just bucket. There was 2 buckets of beer on the plate, and he said, "All right, we're drinking for free. You're on my team." So like, I was 17 years old doing this, like in the summer. Had camp the next day, like.
Oh my, bro! It's like Friday Night Lights, literally. It's almost, you know.
No, and that's the fun thing about like where I grew up. It was literally like that same vibe. It was like, it was country. Nobody gave a fuck if you were an athlete. Like I could get pulled over by the cops in my hometown and they'd be like, "You're Cody Leonard." Like, yeah, like hey, like how was the game? You good game the other night, man. Like they wouldn't even be talking about what they pulled you over for. Like it was out the window. It was just, they wanted to know how you were doing.
You're gonna win state this year, right?
Literally, that's what it was. Like. And my little brother's kind of living that life now. He's a senior over there, so he's doing that same shit. So it's funny.
That's awesome, man. Okay, the Grain Bin.
And the thing is, the table, the whole bar table it's like a plexiglass on the top, and then there's little grains, like grains that you would see from
like for feed.
You would see underneath the plexiglass,
Okay.
that layered underneath the table. So it'd be like plexiglass, glass, the feed, and then that was the table.
Gotcha.
So that's why it's called the Grain Bin.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, like where I'm from isn't country per se. Because it's like now there's a Microsoft campus, all like it's grown a lot since I was in high school. But when my mom grew up there, like we still have the Kelly Ranch is still in Issaquah, Washington, which is where I'm from. And so it's still like, even though it's got some new money for sure, like and the housing market's fucking crazy there now, like it's still got that kind of like,
yeah.
And you go like two towns over, get out to North Bend, Snoqualmie, that's the farm kind of like maybe actually even like 3 towns over, get out to Cleellum. That might be a little bit more closer to like what. So I'm like 2 or 3 suburbs in, closer to Seattle from the Grain.
Yeah, and the closer you get to Seattle, the more. Yeah. So like where I grew up, we have 2,700 people, and probably 2,000 of those people are farmers.
Damn.
It's all corn, beans, and And even my parents, we have chickens, cows, horses.
Okay.
Like, we gotta. So I go home and it's like just a vibe. It's a vibe. It's a different vibe. That's for sure.
But they just have them for like they're not making money off of the horses, chicken. It's like for their own thing.
It's for our own thing.
Yeah.
Like the cows, my little brother, he shows pigs and cows at fairs. So he's like, we have show pigs. We have 2 show pigs.
What?
And then we have some show cattle. So
Okay.
like my little brother, he's an 18-year-old. What
is the name of the person that shows pigs and cattle?
That's the thing.
What is there a
There's really even not a name for it. It's like, so we have fairs. So we have we call it the Greene County Fair. There's the Greene County Fair. Greene County, Carrollton is like the capital. Like,
okay.
We have a courthouse for the Greene County in Carrollton, where I grew up, and pretty much you try to grow the fattest, healthiest looking pig you can, and you try to get it looking good. You can't let the other pig nip on it. You want it looking pretty and fat and plump, and you go and you show it. And he has won first prize the last couple of years.
Really?
Like he's the guy. Like,
Okay.
I'm from lifted trucks. You go mudding. Like that's what we do. Like, but
what makes this is some I didn't expect us to talk about.
I'm from country.
What makes a pig or a cow a show pig or cow?
Pretty much the more calm it is, the more plump. Like you want like for a pig and a cow, you want a fat, healthy looking pig. Like it can't have any marks, no scars. It's got to look like just like a pig that, especially with pigs, you want a fat, nice, plump, pretty looking pig like that will follow you. Because you're like making it follow directions. You're doing all this stuff with it.
Oh, okay.
And it's got to be able to like kind of you have to have a relationship with that cow or that pig to where they know that like, oh, you're my guy. Like they follow you around, and there's certain things like, I mean, there's different categories with the judging, but like there's like an overall like, you're the winner, and that's usually the biggest, plumpest pig, or like the pig that looks the best. Yeah, it's like a bunch of different categories all into one. I personally never have done it. I never was that kind of guy, but my little brother, he's like the country dude. Like he's out hunt. Like he's that guy.
Do you, at some point, are you eating this pig?
We had 2 pigs that we just, before I left, we butchered. We had raised them to where they were nice, big and plump, healthy pigs. We butchered them, and we had fucking pork and bacon for probably 3 months that we could have just eaten on our own. And now back home, people are going, now that it's springtime, they're going mushroom hunting for morels.
Oh,
you ever heard of that?
I mean, like, not psychedelic mushrooms.
No,
yeah,
morel mushrooms.
Yeah. I don't know but they do that shit here too, bro. Like, wait until the springtime, even though now
this time of the year, if I were to go out and get like 4 or 5 pounds of morel mushrooms, because that's when they start sprouting over where I'm from, I could go to Chicago and sell them for $100, $120 a pound.
How long does it take you to get a pound?
Couple hours.
Really?
You just go out and you get this. So we get really drunk with our friends. We just start hammering beers, and we go out mushroom. We just look for these fucking brain. They look like brains. And they're like a delicacy for chefs.
Let me look this shit.
Yeah, and people fry them. You can stuff them with. I've seen the jalapeno popper morels. It's like it's almost a delicacy, but it's like it has a strange. Yeah, that's exactly what they look like. Looks like a little brain membrane. They pop up around this time of year, but there's something that like chefs use. They're very, very tasty when you fry them or cook them.
Interesting.
And they grow very predominantly in where I'm from. So like everyone that has land, and we have like my parents had like 30, 40 acres of land that we just go around. And my little brother, they call him Mooney.
Your brother?
I have 3 brothers, but this is my second youngest.
Okay.
Why
do they call him Mooney?
Okay, so I'm trying to think of the age group. So growing up, we used to go to the Carrollton Community Pool every day. We used to pretty much live there. But he went there one day, and someone pulled down his pants and his ass was out, and they were saying he was mooning people. And he is now an aerospace engineer at 21 years of age, and that happened when he was 10 years old. He's been moony ever since 10 years old, to where even my daughter, who's 2.5 years old, looks at a picture and will see him and say, "Mooney, Uncle Mooney." Like, he is only Mooney, and he was in a big frat guy at Southern Illinois University, Roseville, and known as Mooney. Just because of that thing, it just stuck. But he caught 4 pounds of mushrooms in one day. So it's like, if you go for a good weekend, you could catch like 4, 5, 10 pounds.
Damn, and you said $100 bucks a pound in there?
Because you go up to Chicago and they don't have them up there. It's predominantly like a southern, like a Midwest thing. Okay. So it's like you could sell them because it's a tasty. It's tasty. Yeah. They taste good, and a lot of chefs like to use them. So you can like where I'm from, they'll sell for $40, $50 or dollars a pound. But we go up north, it'll go like 100, 120, 140 sometimes.
Oh.
So it's pretty nice.
Damn, dude.
It's crazy.
I didn't think we were going to get on to mushrooms.
It's that country lifestyle, bud.
Particularly in Catalan. And
I was saying if I were to sing some karaoke night, it'd be Country Road, Take Me Home.
Yeah, that's the thing for... this is one of the weirdest episodes, honestly. It's no offense, it's fitting that you're on this one because it's like one of the most weird random story episodes I've ever done.
Need to know.
Yeah, no. I was talking about JUCO earlier, and
if this is predominantly Finnish people, they need to know the American lifestyle.
Well, dude, that's the thing is I don't even know who, like...
Can you see when your like subscribers?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can, like, if I go to, like, just from people that I know that talk to me, though, it's weird. It's like a American, Polish. I know there's a couple Portuguese guys, but if I go like to this and see who actually, I was talking about this earlier, is like there's this weird thing in my mind of like, yeah, my estimated audience on Spotify is around 100 people, and on YouTube I'd say is around that too, which like is crazy to me knowing that there's like 200 people.
And then there's thousands and thousands of people watching on TikTok.
Well, yeah. But that's just like, you forget as soon as you scroll, but like, it's crazy to me, even though 200 people sounds like not very many, that there's still 200 people that are like, I want to hear what this motherfucker says every week.
Yeah.
But if I go...
You see your shit's building up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it definitely is. And so right now on Spotify, at least 50%
that's pretty tough.
is Finnish.
Hansa.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's for sure. The 2%'s Hansa. Poland, 2%, that's Henny, and probably Agata, probably this girl that I know there. But then, like, you see, and it's like Germany, Netherlands, Norway, and it's like, yeah, it's but that's still a person. Cool. A person or two, cool. And
I've never seen these before.
Yeah.
Because I've never done.
But for the most part, it's mainly Finland and U.S. And so, no, it's just
And you really don't promote yours. I mean, you do, but...
Not like I probably should.
Yeah, no. It's more like if you click on Living for a Living on your TikTok, then you see it maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like...
Yeah. I know. I need to, like, because I never want to be fucking.
Because there's a couple TikToks where you're like, check out the podcast.
Yeah,
it's like this is the cup, So it is tough.
No, but it's it's funny to hear, like, I don't know, man. It's just
because trust me, when I go out with you, Joey, and I feel like when I sit back and I'm just like I see the fans come up, I'm just like. I laugh sometimes at what they say because they'll be doing like the How is Finland? It was literally when me and Noel were sitting there with right after the night that you made how do you like Finland? And I counted, I'm not kidding you, probably 6 people would give me how do you like Finland? And me and Noel would look at each other and go, oh, there's another one. Like we would laugh so fucking hard.
Bro, but that's honestly, I love going out with you because you also are. How do I say this? I feel I am like I'm very open to talking to random people.
I don't give a fuck.
But you are probably even more so than me. And so there's certain times like that one night when we were all out front of Nosu and Ant was there.
Oh,
And like the friend of the girls or something was there. And like you guys are having a conversation and like Ant always gives me shit for like getting boyfriends at the bar that like I just, because I'll have a fucking conversation with you
if someone is gonna
interesting
be,
enough
and they're being nice to you, I'm gonna be nice back.
But like it's fun to go because you'll almost do it more than I will. And that one night at the bar,
I get trapped,
bro. That one night, not the night with Ant, but that other night, fucking Cody. 2 dudes buddied up with you.
And they still hit me up on Snapchat.
Bro, and they were following you around like fucking a little puppy. And then we saw them, I don't know, a month later.
We saw them at Tahko.
We saw them a month later. And then we also saw them at Nosu other time. And then they got kicked out because they were so fucked up that night. And so I've, the best thing, this is going to sound so bad. My favorite thing about smoking cigarettes is like it's the easiest way to get out of a conversation.
I've gotten out of. Let me tell you, Joe. I've been at the bar stuck, talking to dudes.
Dudes.
Oh,
you're never stuck talking to bitches.
Because if it's a girl, you're like, I'll pass up the cigarette. I'm not gonna stay here and I'll talk to you. Because especially if you're like, I'm gonna get it. Like, you stay. But if it's a guy, this dude bought me like 2 drinks, and I was like, I felt obligated. Like, I gotta sit here, and he was a trucker from Finland, obviously. Blah 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 blah. I was
big
like,
guy with a beard?
No.
Okay, I know one trucker in Finland.
I was like, listen, man, I really gotta smoke a cigarette. And I was just like, at the end, back of my mind, I was like, I just gotta get the fuck out of this conversation. I leave. I'm out there for probably 30 minutes, and I stay on the front side of the bar for another 20. Come back and he's gone. And I'm like, all right, it's safe. Like, it's safe. Because I know if we make eye contact again, it's over.
No, dude, I use my cigarette breaks so strategically. And I was saying actually before you got here, like, I was talking about my weekend in Tahko 2 weekends ago. And we had this little VIP table, which is like kind of cool. We didn't have to pay for it, even cooler. But I don't even like the whole VIP thing because then you're stuck in that VIP group.
You can't venture out.
No, and so I ended up spending a lot of the night out smoking cigarettes just because.
That's where you connect. Like, that's where me and you, even going out with you and seeing like, we're just like out there on the prowl, like smoking a cigarette. But it's like, hey, can I get a lighter? Boom, that strikes up a conversation right there.
Where are you from?
Oh, yeah. They hear, oh, you speak English? Oh. And it's like, for us English guys, it's like, that is how, or anyone's like, I gotta go smoke a cigarette. You're like, I'm in. Like, I'm in. You're instantly like, all right, let's go. Like,
that's an event.
Yeah. It's like, let's go out there and have a conversation. Yeah. Let's talk about some life. Let's do something. Like, and that's the best thing about it.
Oh, no, for sure, man. It's a good, like I said, I'm grateful that you, because, Ant's not a big guy that goes out. Keem isn't big that goes out. Last year, Reese was the third American. He was the same kind of guy as those guys. Like, fun, super fucking fun when they did go out. But it just doesn't happen very often.
See, I'm balanced.
Yeah.
I will go out. I'll wake up the next day. I'll be hungover. I'll drink my water. I'll go to the gym. I work out every day.
Yeah.
But I also want to have fun. Like, I want to drink. I want to go out. I want to meet people. And especially, like, it's me and you can go out. It's like, yeah, why not?
Yeah. No, last year I would always go out with the German-O lineman.
Like, if I'm going out, I'm hitting Joey up. Like, I'm like, because I know that we're going to do our thing.
Yeah,
it's going to be fine.
No,
I'll go sing some karaoke. I'll go, we're going to do our thing.
No, it's, It's been nice because last year it was the German O lineman. Shout out Tim. I don't know. I think Tim
I
maybe.
know
Tim.
me and Tim messaged on Instagram a lot.
Okay. Yeah. I think he might listen to this. Actually, I don't know. And
Shout out Tim.
if not, and then also Jeff, the French receiver. But I could always Tim was my Cody of last year. Of
you knew if you went out.
Although I can almost damn near 100% count on you. I think there's been one time where you.
Because to me, I'm always on the fence.
Yeah.
And if I get
I live on the fence.
If somebody else is saying, "Hey man," tonight I was so on the fence, and I was even thinking I might just go out and have some fun.
Yeah.
And then you hit me up, and I was like, me and Joe are going to have a good time.
Yeah. Bro, I've been feeling like shit the last week or so after Tahko. And I was like, I can't. No. I'm going to I need to take a weekend off, take a full week off. And then I was like, I feel pretty fucking good today. And then I know, bro, this weekend.
This weekend was fun.
No, I wasn't. I mean, this upcoming weekend.
Oh.
It's called Vapu here in Finland.
I've been hearing about it.
And it's like...
They said people on the lake over here.
Yeah. No, and Friday is the day to go out. I learned this the hard way last year. Because last year, I mean, bro, what's crazy is the version of myself that you know of this kind of party guy or guy that goes out a lot. Or regularly.
That's not even the version I have.
Yeah, but I mean, just I should say the amount that I go out.
I just see a guy who's not scared to go have fun.
Yeah, well,
I appreciate that as so much as a guy who is the same way.
I like that way that you see me then, but I used to, I wouldn't say not be scared of having fun, but I just wouldn't go and have fun. You know what I mean? And so it's there's been a couple nights where Noah hits me up or Ronnie hits, when it's fucking dope when the young guys hit you up and they're like, what's the move for tonight? And I'm like,
because they're looking at you for answers.
Asking me
they're looking at you for
is?
answers. And I've come to find that out too, and I'm like, I don't know, but I'm down for anything. It's whatever you fuckers want to do, I will do. Because Tony does that with me a lot. He'll be like, come out, man. Come out. Some teammates are hanging out. And if I hear teammates are hanging out, I'm just like...
For sure.
I might not go drink, but I'll go out. But then I get out. I'm just like...
Yeah.
I'm going to get fucked up. I get to the bar. I'm just like, I'm going to get fucked up.
But no, dude, that's how, for me, it's changed so much. Because in... What year was it? 2018? Yeah, 2018, my second year in Poland. I was in a city, it was a tri-city area. So there was Gdynia, Sopot, Gdansk. All three cities within, I don't know, 1 million people damn near, all within real close, 30 minutes of each other. And I hardly ever went out. And we had... Our head coach / GM was a party dude. He was probably 35,
head
40.
Head coach / GM party dude?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, imagine, it's not a good comparison at all, but just to imagine Pekka without a family and 5 or 6 years younger.
Pussy magnet.
Yeah, just going after it, you know?
He's hungry.
Yeah, just going after it and down. And then we had an American special teams coach, which this dude, bless his heart, he's kind of turned his career into something good, but at the time, he was just there to just get fucked up every night. He came drunk to practice, all this stuff.
Not a whole lot of special.
Yeah, no, very little. Very little. And so those two dudes always would go out, and they're always inviting the import players to come out. And it was me, and I had brought my O-line coach. I brought in an O-line coach who was my center in college. I was a senior. He was a freshman. This was 4 years later, so he had just graduated. So he knew
getting his shit together.
Yeah. I mean, engineering major, great,
smart dude,
great fucking guy. And then our defensive import was from not Cornell, what's the black and orange Ivy League school? I forget. Ivy League school, dude.
Cornell's black and red.
Yeah, and white and red. Yeah, I don't know. Black and orange Ivy League school. It's off the top of my head right now. Another really smart dude, and still fun.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't like partying at the time. It wasn't my thing. Both of those guys wasn't their thing, and so I got into a beef with the American guy because at the Super Bowl party we had, he's like, yeah, you know. And I didn't live with them. I lived on my own. They had their own spot together. He's like, yeah, you know, we invite Shane and James to go out, but they won't go out because you don't want to go out. And I'm like, what do you mean? I was like, we don't live together. I'm not their fucking dad.
Yeah,
if they're telling you no, it's because they don't want to go. Yeah. He's like, no, but I just think it's kind of messed up that, you know, like, they pay your salary and then you don't want to spend time with them, meaning like the head coach GM.
I want to go out and get drunk with him.
Yeah. And I was like, but he like the way he was always kind of trying to like be like sly kind of, and so he was trying to like be sneaky about it, but guilting me into going out. And I was like, and I was fucked. I was kind of drunk watching the game, Super Bowl, and I looked at him and I was like, bro, no one's going to fucking guilt me to go out. So this conversation can just end right fucking now. And I probably said it a little bit more
but he
animated.
Didn't hear it.
Oh, yeah. And James Brown, maybe? Brown? Well, this is going to fucking bug me if I don't look it up. Ivy League schools.
Oh, I see one in the corner there.
Yeah.
Princeton.
He's from Princeton. And James looked at me and he's like,
you're not wrong.
yeah, and you know, because here this guy's telling him, yeah, you guys should go out, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and I said that, and he was like, oh, okay, sorry, and like leaves. And James just looked at me and was like, thanks, bro. Like, now he'll
you
stop.
Said it,
Now he'll stop fucking bugging me. It's like, yeah. So, but long story short.
But it's also like you want to go out with people who like are gonna give a good vibe. You know, you want to have a good intention. You want to go out and be like, you know, no matter what that's gonna happen, you're gonna have a good time. And that's like the thing I get from you. Like no matter no matter how we approach any situation, we'll meet some people. We'll have some fun. I know that if you go do your own thing, I can go do my own thing, and that we're gonna have a good time no matter what. Like it's like it's whatever, you know. It's whatever. Like
for sure. No, and that's the thing. Is the one night that I agreed to go, we all went out with him, and that group, bro. That fucking guy who's trying to guilt me into this shit, got me headbutted by some big fucking random Polish dude, because like he'd lived in Poland for a while, so he could kind of speak Polish,
probably
but just not enough. Like he could speak enough, and in his like demeanor, it always seemed like offensive, kind of, you know, and kind of like condescending.
Yeah.
And
like an aggressive,
and like kind of almost like smart alecky, like, you know, respond. And this fucking guy, I can remember me, big Polish motherfucker, and him all talking, and he's kind of trying to translate, but not really. And this Polish dude was drunk as fuck. I mean, you see how it can be, and just all the
Bart,
like bigger, older version of Bart, basically, straight up. And he just literally was just, and I was like, what the, you know, like, oh, dude, yeah. And I was like, came out of no, like, it didn't fuck me up or anything. Like, it wasn't a crazy headbutt.
It's a solid hit.
It was just, it was to the point where I was like, I hadn't said anything. I got headbutted
this guy said something.
And so after that, I was like, nah, dude, I ain't fucking going out with you. I'm not going out with you. But
like, I don't think we've had almost the 2 months we've been here, we have not had one single, even a close altercation with anybody.
No.
It's been all just.
The closest one was like one of the last times we went out with that guy outside the bar who wanted me to try to get him in.
Oh yeah, but that was just a drunk
And
asshole.
just super drunk, and he's like,
and we were like, what do you mean, bro?
Like, fuck you. I was like, well, now I'm for sure not helping you out, bro.
Like I was standing outside Jolene, and a chick, older chick, probably 40, came up and was like trying to talk to me in Finnish, and I was like, I don't speak English. I don't know what you're saying. And she was like, rattling on in Finnish, and I was like, what are you saying? I was like, I don't know what you're saying. And she tried to kiss me, and I said, no, I don't want to kiss you. And she looked at me in English, perfect English, fuck you, and walked away. And I looked at everybody, and I was like, what the fuck just happened? And I was like, what is going on? And I was like, she doesn't know English until now?
She knows those 2 words, that's for sure.
It was. I was like, okay, all right, let's go on with our night.
Let's go.
Finland's brought some interesting moments already.
Yeah. All right, bro. Let's call it a night. This might a Wednesday night drinking session with the last 20 to 40 minutes with the Cody Leonard feature might have to be a more regular thing.
Hey,
because that could be kind of fun.
I'm down for that.
That'd be fun.
I am down for that.
Because we're at my time where I'd like to. I'll edit it down. Yeah, we're at a good spot. So
hour 30.
And maybe at some point we'll just do your own episode.
Okay.
But we got a good base to start. So
I'm in. I'm always in.
Yeah, dude. All right. Well, this was the weirdest fucking episode I've probably ever done. And, we'll see you next week.
Cheers.
Peace and much love. Holla.